how to live in Sonoma like a local lives in Sonoma. That would be something. I mean, you want to become a local here, right? So I thought I'd talk about what it's like to be local here in Sonoma. So what's it like living in Sonoma, living like a local? I thought I'd talk about it because there's kind of local stuff that you might not know till you live here. And you're like, well, it's not all about wine tasting and cheese and seeing the goats and the sheep, which you'll see plenty of. But sometimes it's just about feeling like a local and being a local and making that all work. So I'm gonna throw a whole bunch of things, kind of wing it in this video, because I got in a conversation today and people were like, oh, I've lived here a while, now I feel like a local. And I was like, well, that's a good topic for a video, because what's it mean to be a local here in Sonoma? So you know you can't come and live in a city that's all about farm to table without going to the farmer's market every Friday. And in the summer, from May through September, you can go listen to music and do your farmer's market shopping and hang out with your friends down at the plaza. And that's a whole bunch of fun. So locals love the farmer's market like they do in a lot of cities, but we're in the middle of egg and cheese and chocolate and delicious food country. So the farmer's market is a big deal. It's over there in Depot Park, and it's a big part of being a local. Okay, so there's a lot of big events that happen here. I mean, not just the Sonoma Raceway, which is huge and international and all that, but we have a great film festival that goes on, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I'm shooting this in April, second week of April, and I think it was at the end of March and middle of March. And it's a great film festival. I've been to a few of the films. I don't go to every event, but people love the film festival here in Sonoma, and the locals are the ones that really go. So it's not really a touristy thing as much as it's a local gig. So think of coming to Sonoma in March and going to that great film festival. So you might think, so do the locals actually walk around the plaza and do their shopping? Yeah, I go into Chico's, hunt around, find a few things a year. I also go into the chocolate factory, which is the wine country chocolates down the little alley up there off of Spain Street. Delicious. You got to find that chocolate factory. And then of course the Boulangerie, and there's Murphy's, right? Who doesn't go have an Irish meal and some great beer and sit outside in their plaza, the Murphy's Plaza, Murphy's Pub Plaza, off of the plaza. You can eat around the plaza anytime. You just want pizza and salad. I mean, the most famous pizza in the whole county is Mary's Pizza, and it's right on the plaza. That is so local. You can go to Mary's Pizza and have local wine and eat awesome pizza, A+, or their salad, that old spinach salad with the tamari sauce on it, OMG. Okay? Mary's Pizza, totally Sonoma County, started right here in the city of Sonoma, and every local knows about it. It's full of the soccer teams in the summer, but don't mind that. Mary's Pizza. The picnic tables, the cheese, the cracker, the wine, the chocolates, oh, the local sausage, some local sausages, beef jerky out at the beef jerky place. Now, sorry for the shaky camera, but locals love this stuff. We go pick it up all the time and nosh on it while we're driving around. It's really local, and you're gonna enjoy it too. So living like a local might be going to find a picnic table at a local winery and just hanging out with your local food. So hiking, biking, and walking are kind of big in Sonoma. There's a big walking trail. You gotta go on the walking trail. There's a big hiking trail up here, all taken care of by volunteers. The Overlook Trail, that's awesome. I've brought a sandwich and sat up there, drank my water, ate my little sandwich, and my little apple and some cheese, and I have a whole view of San Francisco, and I can see all the way to Vallejo and all the way the other direction, that's pretty local. So there's a lot of local stuff to do, and hiking, biking, and walking are really, really local things. Hey, and you love the 4th of July? Well, Sonoma's got this award-winning 4th of July parade every year around the plaza. I mean, it seems like half of San Francisco is there, but it's not overwhelming. It's not gross. It doesn't like ruin it or anything. It makes it like a really exciting local parade where enough people come. Wow, there's a lot of people. So it's won awards as like the #1 in Northern California, and it's got everything in it, like a lot of local parades. And you know, you go do the 4th of July parade, which is like 2 hours, and then you do your wine tasting, or just hit the cafe right across the street, or eat outside of the Boulangerie, or down at Della Santino's. Awesome. Down the road here, hit up that place for lunch after the parade. They're all open on the 4th of July, most of them are. And so come and join the 4th of July parade and then eat out after, or go home and do the barbecue. That's local. So you hit the parade and then you go home and barbecue with all your friends. Super local Sonoma stuff. You probably read Jack London, right? Call of the Wild, White Fang, all those nice books. I've been reading them this year. Jack London's house, the Wolf House, and his whole ranch is 20 minutes from the city of Sonoma, up in the city of Glen Ellen, which is considered part of the Sonoma Valley. So there's Sonoma, Glen Ellen, and Kenwood. And those are that's local, that's the Sonoma Valley. And the Jack London State Park is there. If you want some beautiful hiking and a great day to go do stuff, hit Jack London State Park, and you're definitely a local. The locals just love it. I belong to some local groups, socializing groups, the Sonoma Valley Newcomers Club, and there's hiking there all the time, like pack up twice a month, every other week or so. You can find a group of people that are hiking in Jack London State Park. That is so local. You know, Sonoma has this cute place called Train Town. I don't know if it's unique. I'm sure there's train towns in many other cities across our nation, but it's so local to go to the train town here. It's beautiful to look at just when you pull up. It's got big train cars all out in front, and then the kids and the families stay there. I think there's a petting zoo in the back. Parents talk about it all the time. Their kids are bonkers about it, and people come from all over to go to the local train town. Now that's something that's super duper Sonoman. I have friends that are major kayakers, so there's no river that runs through this town. So I don't know whether to call this Sonoman or not, but a lot of people that live here are retired, right? And they get out and they do a lot of stuff. And one of them is kayaking, whether it's on lakes or the local rivers. So the closest river, which is actually a saltwater inlet from the San Francisco Bay, is over the hill 20 minutes to the city of Petaluma. And that's really interesting because it's a saltwater river or finger that comes into Petaluma. It takes 2 hours on a boat at less than 5 miles an hour to putz out to San Francisco Bay. But you will see stand-up paddling and tons of canoeing and kayaking now on the river. And you're in the Tules, and you're right down in the kind of the marsh area of the San Francisco Bay. And it's fantastic. Some of the cows are right up next to the river as you get farther out. And it's just awesome. So there's that, and then tons of kayaking, of course, on the Russian River, and taken off to the local lakes, which are an hour or two away, some of them. And of course, you can kayak, I suppose, in the San Francisco Bay, probably more in Sausalito, in the calmer parts of the bay. You'll see some kayakers out there early in the morning. But that's very Sonoman to venture out of Sonoma and go to San Francisco and or the Russian River or to Petaluma and do your kayaking. Now we're kind of known for breezy winds around here, so a lot of boating and kayaking and stuff like that people do before noontime. But that's super local because I hear people doing it all the time. You don't really want me on the water. I would like fall over or something. But it's super popular. So I wanted to make sure you know that that's pretty Sonoman to take off and go hit the waters. Now you live in Sonoma County, right? So you got to go to a county fair or a city fair because it just wouldn't be the summer without the fair. And we've got two great ones, the Sonoma Marin Fair, which is 20 minutes out of here in the city of Petaluma. And that's the big fair for the whole county, shared with Marin. And FFA kids are there, Future Farmers of America. I said that right. And that's awesome because they've raised their animals and they bring them to the fair to show them off. And it's amazing. So, and then the exhibits and the fun and the music, and it's just the fair. You gotta go to the fair or you're just not from Sonoma County when you live here. So that's just 20 minutes over the hill. It lasts like, I think 4 days in June every year. And then there's the Santa Rosa Fair, which is up in the biggest city in the county in Santa Rosa. And that seems like a bigger fair with like a bigger exhibit hall, and the horse races go on for a week, I think. And big horse racing in Santa Rosa, so that's a big deal. And it didn't exist much during COVID, but it's really coming back. And that's a fun fair with a huge carnival. Maybe that's a bigger carnival than the Petaluma one. I don't know, but you love the carnival and the fair food, right? So Sonoma County shows off its agriculture at the fairs. They're a really important part of the county, and the ag business that's done here. Lots of contests, from art contests to wine tasting, cheese tasting, pies, and all the stuff that goes on at the fairs. It's a whole bunch of fun. I've missed the fair a few years, but hardly ever. We have a Realtor's Day at the fair, and I'm like, we gotta go because I can watch a little bit of horse racing and then walk around the fair, have a pretzel, you know. So that's very Sonoman to go to the local fairs. So you feeling like a local yet? There's even an olive festival. So in the wintertime, you might think, so what goes on in the wintertime? Like every month out of the year, there's stuff going on. There used to be a mustard festival because the fields are yellow with mustard starting February, March. And so there used to be a mustard festival. Who doesn't want to taste mustard? I like it on everything. And then the olives are huge olive growing here. You wouldn't think maybe. You might think it's just wine, olive oil, everything. Jacuzzi Winery, look it up. Olive oil ice cream. I know. That's weird, but it's delicious. They're right across from Klein. So the olive oil festival or the olive oil tasting goes on kind of in the winter, January, February, because it's a great thing to pair with wine, right? And it's local olive oil. Let me tell you, it has all those polyphenols in it. Good for your heart, because it goes straight from the tree into the bottle, into you. So olive oil, the olive oil industry and olive oil tasting is big for the locals here in Sonoma. So you know what's kind of cool is there's a great art museum right off the plaza. Check it out. It's right down Broadway on the right-hand side, the Sonoma Museum. And they have great exhibits all year long. And I really enjoy, maybe 4 times a year I'll pop in there. Usually maybe after I'm walking or something, and I just want to see what's in there. So it's a big art colony here. There's whole areas where people rent their art studios. There's a plein air festival where people paint outside in the beautiful scenery, and then in the plaza they display and sell their plein air paintings. That's amazing. So if you love the art community, which is very local here in Sonoma, check out the Plein Air Festival, the museum, and this year the Sonoma Newcomers did a fantastic art fair just 2 weeks ago in the middle of March. And there was 400 people that showed up on the rainiest day of the year, like it was a monsoon. And we had 20 exhibitors, everything from jewelry to pottery to lovely oil paintings and watercolor painting. All kinds of art, photography. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. And so maybe that'll become a local thing. But it's got the locals love art here, and there's a lot of artists. So if you move into the community and you want to be a part of all that, it's right outside your door. Locals love the art scene. Hit that subscribe button because a new video comes out every single Friday. And don't forget all the free stuff. I got free buyer's guides, seller's guides, and relocation guide right below every single video. And I'll see you around the neighborhood.